too.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? To a quick little episode of Reasonable Wrestling. We're about to get you with our here Survivor Series review. It's I Trent. Well, I am on my tag team partner, CT, aka Chitty Bang.
What's up, guys? We are the Underground Professional Wrestling Podcast. We were supposed to be here Saturday, but we had to cancel due to family obligations. And we were supposed to do co-things with the Black Guy Wrestling Podcast, but unfortunately that didn't come through. If we didn't schedule that, we probably would have went live right after Survivor Series because there was huge news. And we'll get to that in a moment. But follow us on RW Podcast 1 on Twitter. And Reasonable Wrestling Podcast pretty much everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you're. All your media is a socialist. Yeah, let's just get right into the news. Actually, let's start from our speculations going into Survivor Series and our expectations, because we all know what the news is, but what the speculation was prior to Survivor Series. And to be quite honest, when it came to Survivor Series, I was excited to see Randy Orton again. Number one thing was Randy Orton coming back. It's been a year and a half since his injury, and we weren't promised to get him back because, it was a thing where the doctor said maybe you shouldn't be doing this thing anymore called wrestling. Back injuries at that age are very serious. But here we are, War Games. Randy Orton's going to return Survivor Series as a fifth member of Team, Cody and Seth Rollins and all of them. I appreciated the build to War Games. I was super excited. That's all I needed, bro. Honestly, that's all I needed. So when I'm talking to my nephew and he's telling me, hey, CM Punk, and everybody else is like, oh, could CM Punk come there in Chicago? And all the buzz was around that. I really did not give it any credence at all. Like, I was like, we're not going to see CM Punk until he's in the Hall of Fame. That was literally my stance on CM Punk. So I'll leave it to you. What was your take or speculation going into Survivor Series?
Well, I mean, we make jokes all the time, and you say, "Money make a bitch do." You know what I'm saying? And realistically, shit, money make a bitch do. You feel me? I want to say this. My speculatories about CM Punk was not necessarily based upon anything that I kind of thought from the IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community, because I kind of really steer clear from that as much as possible when it comes to my influence on like what I think about wrestling in general. But Chicago Survivor Series, I mean, we've been to Chicago plenty of times. We've done the whole CM Punk chant at WWE events plenty of times. We've over the course of hearing wrestlers, executives, commentators, all of such is like, hey man, like, look, that guy's doing whatever he's doing over there.
Yeah.
Whatever he's doing, whatever it is, it ain't with us. So realistically, when it came to the speculation of that, it just felt like it fell on the ears as it's always been.
Yeah.
The AEW situation didn't necessarily bear any swaying to me as far as will he come up, will he show up, or will he not. But I would say this. Cody being in his first War Games match, Charlotte being in her first War Games match, Randy coming back to War Games, those were kind of like the three things that was really on my palate. You know what I'm saying? As far as like expectations of the night. When the music hit and we heard the static, the crowd did not play it like, oh, they fucking with us. The crowd came in, knew it, wanted to see it happen. When it happened, they met the moment. I think that was very telling. I think
it's something, one of those moments where it was lightning in a bottle. Even me, I sat there, jaw dropped. I didn't even scream. I was legitimately in shock for a legitimate hour after the show went off air. Like, I did not see this coming. I think the biggest thing that I thought that might, like, lead towards, hey, maybe somebody's gonna show up, it was Shinsuke Nakamura's promos and saying he's waiting for somebody to come. But even with those promos, I didn't think it was CM Punk. I know that he does a GTS and all that stuff now, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what they're going with, but I wouldn't be playing around with the fans that way, especially when you're going to a Chicago pay-per-view. So I was like, okay, this Shinsuke Nakamura stuff, it seemed like they were just trolling, just trying to get the fans excited for something that wasn't going to be there. And then when they announced Randy Orton the Monday Night Raw prior to on the Go Home show, I'm like, all right, great. They're announcing Randy Orton to let us know, hey, there ain't gonna be no CM Punk. Like, you're gonna see him first that night. It's gonna be Randy Orton's return. We're not gonna overshadow that with another CM Punk return the same night. I'm thinking that way. Like, there's no way CM Punk is showing up. So when we watch War Games, I'm excited. I'm watching the whole show. I see the main event. Randy hits that crazy RKO on JD McDonough thrown off the top of the War Games cage, I should say. And I'm like, oh man, that was a good match. Like, I'm ready to wrap it up, get ready for the pod the next day, and I'm like, draw drop, bro. Like, I'm in like legitimate. I'm not screaming. I'm not shouting. I stand up slowly. I'm like, no fucking way. I look at it. It takes a minute. He walks out there, and I'm just grabbing my head like, what is going on here, bro? Like, I have to give it to Triple H, the Bookers, Nick Khan for keeping it in the way they did, and for legitimately surprising me. This is not the first time that Triple H has been able to do this. I remember when Io Sky, Dakota Kai came SummerSlam. They have a way of, in this day and age, somehow keeping things under wraps that I really appreciate, because wrestling hasn't been like that for a long time. To keep something like this under wraps without any leaks. I know there was speculation, but like you said, it was not like anything new. Like, we've had this speculation with CM Punk for years, where, every time they go to Chicago, they think that, oh, CM Punk's going to return. But I have to hand it to them. Like, this is honestly, one of the biggest moments of the year, and he's already returned this year before. So it's honestly bigger than that, obviously. But man, gotta hand it to them. They did their thing.
I would say too, man. When it comes to the surprise element of it all, listen, we can have our speculations. Hey, just like we have on a lower scale. We have speculations. Maybe Garza and Humberto Carrillo are joining Santos Escobar, kind of to give a little heel presence to LWO. Like, those speculatory things, matching with, the direction of where they're going, we tap ourselves and like, hey, yeah, man, he got here. big like, is CM Punk returning, or as you mentioned, Dakota Kai and Io Sky coming back, Big coming back from injury.
Hell yeah.
All of that, when we talk about kayfabe, or we keeping it under wraps, or whatever the case may be. Listen, the importance of the surprise element of professional wrestling is very, very underwhelming at times. You know what I'm saying? Because you can know too much and it can ruin what it is that you want to anticipate.
Yeah.
When I brought up how the fans reacted to Punk, I think the fans, the 18,000 people would have been disappointed if they did not get CM Punk. And for those intimate moments for fans, because at home, like you say, we have our reaction, whatever the case may be, out. The core memory that they created there.
Yeah.
I think that is what brings the element of wrestling, and it's translucent through the TV. I showed I showed Ivy the return of CM Punk. I showed Ivy the return of CM Punk. I'm like, look at that crowd. That can't be faked, right? Like that can't be like prompted. That can't be motherfucking like scheduled. That can't, like, the scheduling is the event. The congregation of the event is what is preordained. That fucking moment that the crowd had,
it's once in a lifetime.
Can't be.
Yeah, it's once in a lifetime.
That can't be. And like you say, Punk returned already, right? So it's not like as wrestling fans, we didn't even in Chicago, right? It ain't like it ain't like this nigga ain't did this already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
what I mean by once in a lifetime is like the moment of, you know what I mean? What, like, it's like the moment, like, he's done it, but the moment is a once in a lifetime moment. Like being in that arena when his music, like even us at home, like you have the copyright logo pop up and you're like, that was a good show, and I thoroughly expected to go to sleep happy. Like even without CM Punk, I was like, hey, it was a good show. I'm fine with it. And they don't, like you said, wrestling doesn't usually surprise us that way. It's very rarely, but that's the thing about, that's the magic of this sport entertainment / kind of thing we watch called wrestling, professional wrestling. It's magic in a bottle sometimes, where you have these moments where, CM Punk has his release from AEW in August, and you have a show in Chicago in November that they may push forward for him to come or not, and fans are sitting there wondering, hey, speculation, is it a possibility? And in an internet age, usually you would like, oh, he already signed. You would know like a week or two ahead. We didn't know anything, and even Triple H said in the presser, like, this came together very quickly, and it was him, Nick Khan, and a few people that actually knew what was going to happen, and when he came, that he was coming, and it was official. So I just got to hand it to him, because they understand the element of surprise and how it's so important to wrestling, and why, say, rather than just announcing, hey, CM Punk is coming, like the Duran York, they're like, no, we're going to do this the right way. And let's really, really craft this copyright logo. They think the show is over. The good old Triple H NXT thing that he used to do. And then something crazy happens after that. So, especially with the Randy turn.
Like, I think too, like, let's be honest, let's get into a little bit of what we like to talk about. That's producing, right? You feel me? Like, we used to come here and talk about film students and blah and everything like that, and count segments and what happened this. That's still the element that we like, because production, like, placement, it's like an A&R or a sequence in the album, you know what I mean? Something like that, where it's like, just this album is good if you just had this song under this that lead into this, and this 3 section of the song would have made this album whole project pop, right? Shit like that, just because sonically it's what it is that we would want to hear. Wrestling the same way. When you talk about structure, or you talk about going into commercial on a certain move set, or when you talk about coming back from commercial and the commentators telling the story, what happened, that's all producing, helping with the flow and the synchronicity of the show. As you stated, go ahead.
No, it's so good, man. Like I was just gonna mention, like you're right, it's production, man, and I haven't like even down to Michael Cole and Corey Graves not even announcing anything, they're just letting the moment sit, really, after that, and it's awesome. I gotta hand it to Triple H, man, and like I told you last year, I was like, I gotta see until like the Royal Rumble, like what he was doing. By the time we got to fucking Survivor Series, I was like, oh, hey, this guy's good, you know. And as a booker, in 1 year, he's provided moment after moment after moment after moment. He understands how to create a moment, how to manufacture a moment, and we are super excited. And I think that we're in an interesting space. Even the moment of Cody losing at WrestleMania, we're in an interesting space that takes a man with foresight to be in. Cody Rhodes was talking about how there's so many baby faces that really have a really like the fans really are behind on the press conference. And I'm like, you got to realize that that's because of Roman Reigns being a dominant heel champion for so long. You got to realize that all these guys have gotten their babyface rub from being against the authority of Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, at some point. And then the fans garnering that love for him because we're desperate for a hero. That foresight is only happens if somebody like Triple H says, you know what, Cody Rhodes, you're going to go under, even though the fans want you to be the man right now, and rather than just giving that to him at WrestleMania. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But I haven't been like. I mean, I've had moments where I've been a brat. I've been tuned out of wrestling a little bit because I didn't get what I wanted, and they say just wait and see, and trust, and they seem to come through. And I have to say, I'm growing to trust his vision a lot more as the year goes on. And at this point, like I just can't wait to see what happens next, because if you look at the roster, it is fucking stacked, and there's so many potentialities of people that before even CM Punk comes back, there's so many potentialities. There's Cody Rhodes and Randy. We haven't seen them really link since Cody Rhodes been back. We have so many things that Randy Orton can do. We have history with Drew, history with Seth. We have we were talking about Gunther and Seth before. We were talking about Drew McIntyre and Seth continuing their feud and him getting the championship possibly. It's so many things. We got LA Knight has arrived. We got Damian Priest with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and now you add in this Molotov cocktail of CM Punk, and it's like, whoa, we're in a special time, bro. Where anything can happen. It feels like.
Well, I would say this. Let's before we get too caught up and down the road rabbit hole. We don't why we fucking said instead of playing Madden, we were just going to get, because we could have played Madden, could have saved this. I potentially said Rollins Punk, right? That is now when you talk about potentialities. Nah, fuck that. That's what it is, right? Like that, like that's what it is. We talked about if Ospreay came into WWE, if Okada came into WWE, what was available for them? And I made the case like, man, it ain't really too much. Punk back in WWE, it ain't too much. It ain't too much. He got to go one-on-one with two people, Seth and the Big Dog. That's it for me. For me, that's it. That's it. It's similar to what I went with Ospreay. Ospreay come to WWE, bro. Don't nobody want to care none of that bruv shit. Don't nobody care about your stepson and your wife, how she made you a better person. Nah, man. Ospreay, Ariel Assassin, Seth Rollins, best in the world. Now we legit got Seth Rollins, best in the world, versus the OG, best in the world, and CM Punk. I think that trumps Rollins Ospreay for me. Like, I think
CM Punk, I see where you're going with this. I get what you're saying, but hold your horses a bit. Hold it. And this is another reason why I felt like, I'm gonna be real. I felt like they wouldn't bring CM Punk back, because if we really analyze his run in AEW, he didn't have like a great run. Like the dude had one really good match with MJF, good program with him, and everything else was kind of like, hey, it was all right. It was like mid, you know. And
Ooh, no,
he had injuries. He had
I ain't
injuries.
finna let you go with that, bro. I'm sorry. Yes and no. Punk Page, Punk Moxley.
The promos were good.
But that's for me and you, though. For me and you, that's the only reason why we came to see the match. Because realistically, you know, with Punk, he writes those checks that we go in to look and see, can you cash that motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Can you cash that motherfucker right now? And that's the reason why I say Punk gonna come in talking that cash shit as if he's still best in the world. Rollins legitimately cut that nigga off at the knee. Hey, Punk and Eddie Kingston, right? The promo, like the animosity of realness that niggas dislike Phil Brooks makes a lot of this shit a little bit better than it's supposed to. So I'll give you that. The matches was mid, programs was mid, title contention because of injuries and everything like that didn't necessarily capture the moment, but he moved the needle on AEW. He made money. He
absolutely did, and that's where when you talk about Will Ospreay and him. I know Will Ospreay and Seth is going to have a classic. I don't know if Seth and CM Punk is going to be a classic. I don't know at this day and age if it's going to be a classic. What I do know is that the program and the mic work is going to be something I got to see. Now,
even if it's clunky too, I think it will still be generated as a classic too. Like I think, like mine, if Seth and CM Punk dislike each other, I don't even know if Seth has the Shawn Michaels in him to sabotage a match with Hulk Hogan, right? We saw SummerSlam 05, right?
I'm not gonna do that. I don't think he will.
But even then, that match is memorable. It's memorable because the egos, what was supposed to happen and what actually did happen. That's a low-key infamous match. That
but not for good reason. Like we were not like, oh, I'm gonna go back and watch this crazy ass overselling match.
That's why I'm saying with Punk and Rollins, that contention, I do think, I don't know if it's gonna be a great match, like you would say, with Ospreay and Rollins, but I think to me, adding the element of real animosity like Sean Brett, where niggas, these punches, you gonna protect me with this punch? You know what I'm saying? Or are you gonna catch me on this on this tope suicide, whatever, like shit like that, like makes the match.
If Seth Rollins can have beef with Cody Rhodes and then lose him 3 times in a row when he comes back, then yeah, he's gonna do business with CM. But I'm not worried about that. I really think that he's a man of, he understands the business. That's why when you see Punk come out, he's over there doing, yelling all types of expletives and all that shit, because I think he gets that, okay, this is money. I'm going to draw some money here. Like he understands the business. So I at the end of the day, you're right. Right now, Seth and CM Punk seems like the biggest match they could possibly make right now.
It's even bigger than Cody Roman too, bro. Like when we putting it all on the table of what you say, the possibilities that
Cody, it's up there.
Cody finished the story over Roman. Yes, finally, WWE champion. I did it for my dad. I did it for the Gipper. I did it for me. That is a Punk, all that he's done, all that he's said, and Seth, when we talk about flag bearers of WWE, he the top dog. Seth is the top dog for I wear this shit on my motherfucking back. I tote this shit high. When we create the show Battleground, nigga, I'm in that promo with the WWE flag. This is me.
Word.
I think that portion of it makes it bigger than Cody Roman for the simple fact that it's the same thing Paige said to Punk. That's why I brought it up. Paige and Kingston both told Punk to his fucking face, nobody wants you here, nigga. Nobody wants you here. And Punk said, look at the bank, bitch. The bank.
Exactly.
Seth don't give a fuck about the bank. Seth don't fuck about the bank.
Speaking of, I got.
Go ahead.
No, speaking of the bank, man, I gotta also address like the business side of doing this move by WWE. I do think Punk is a draw today, no matter what. If they can get Goldberg to come back and you know, at whatever age he was, I can see them, you know, coming and getting Punk and, you know, burying the hatchet for the reason of this. Next year they're trying to get certain deals, you know, and Punk is a name. Triple H said it himself, like him or hate him, love him or hate him, positive or negative, people talk about him a lot, you know. And when you say, listen, we got Cody Rhodes, we got CM Punk, we got Roman Reigns, we got Charlotte, we got Becky, we got Bianca, we got Seth, we got Drew, and you're like, on top of that, we got CM Punk, and you know, we just got him from AEW, the competition. You want CM Punk on your TV, he's gonna be on our show. It's just another thing to bolster those negotiations. You know, when CM Punk said that so and so the dude, the executive for Warner Brothers calls him One Bill Phil. I mean, that means that these executives know the advantageous stance of having this man on your television screen. He's a guy who generates buzz regardless of where he's at. He's a lightning rod as far as, you know, and you know, we're gonna see it tonight. Like what Raw is gonna break records probably off of, you know, him showing up to start, you know, the ratings.
He's saying probably no. No. Yeah. Niggas said One Bill Phil for Warner Brothers. Are you kidding me? You talking to the company that got 2 separate billion-dollar fucking deals at the same time for different properties showing damn near the same thing, which is wrestling? Come on now. Come on now. This is bigger than Nino Brown, my nigga. This is bigger than the motherfucking, like, CM Punk coming back to WWE. NBC Universal, Peacock, listen, TKO, ESPN, all that shit matters right now. We talk about what these dollars look like. What these dollars look like. And as you say, they can add, listen, they brought back The Rock. They brought back John Cena. To a lesser degree, they brought back Nia Jax and Kairi Sane. To a lesser degree, they are filling out and bolstering out their roster just to be like, we got options.
And they got Jade. And you know, and now I know she's new, but taking these big stars, like, you know, the It Factor stars from AEW. So It Factor, Jade got it all. CM Punk, It Factor. He may not be what he used to be, but he got that It Factor. People are we were tuning in to watch Jade. We're gonna tune in to watch Phil. Like, these guys who are the people that they got from AEW. These are not like just regular people, you know, that they're like, oh, let me just get a, you know, whatever. I don't want to just diss anybody, but those were guys that.
I mean, but granted, and that's what I was just about to say. Granted, for AEW also. Like, and this goes back to this is Survivor Series review, but for AEW to be a legitimate opposition to have WWE move in the manner that they move in, that's big. Because again, a lot of people have pointed out to us, as CM Punk joins WWE, a lot of wrestlers on the other campus saying AEW saved wrestling. Hey, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You brought not only parity, because you have a big television deal, you got a big money behind you, you got pockets behind. This ain't TNA, this ain't MLW, this ain't Impact. This is a legitimate secondary that was
a legitimate alternative to what we're watching.
Yeah. And with that, Bryan Danielson ain't nothing to sneeze at. Adam Cole, nothing to sneeze at. We just talked about how Swerve has the opportunity that he did not have. Chris Jericho, Jon Moxley, these are names, legitimate names within the business
world.
That got cachet that they were able to poach from WWE. When
they got Moxley, I think they were. I think WWE didn't like that. I think that's the one. I think that Chris Jericho. Oh damn! They got Chris Jericho.
We know Jericho.
Jericho gonna do. Jericho. He gonna do what he wants. But then Moxley left WWE. He had a contract coming up. They offered him a contract. He's like, listen, the $1 billion man's not gonna get what he wants, and he left to go to this new company. And I think they do remember that. I think WWE remembers that. So, it's not.
To your point, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. To your point, they remember that because it legitimized them.
It did,
right?
It absolutely did. He's a top star of today. Going to that company is huge.
Bro, that was Dean Ambrose wrestling, who was WWE champion, who wrestled Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, who was, when Cody's talking about baby faces,
one of the most infamous stables of all time, the Shield. He is the,
But when we talk about legitimate baby faces in WWE, it's hard for them to come by. Dean Ambrose was it. Like Dean Ambrose was LA Knight pop, right? Dean Ambrose was Cody's pop. Dean Ambrose was and it replaced that anti-hero that Punk left behind in WWE.
Absolutely.
So when WWE had Dean Ambrose and they let Punk go and they let Dean Ambrose go, it was a void. It was a real legit void that WWE did not have.
Mind you, Bryan Danielson got injured and he was out for years, so they didn't have that baby face that Edge.
So they didn't have a real baby face until right now, until Cody, right? And it took them getting Cody from AEW. So I would like to say that portion of it. Moxley not signing that contract, going to AEW, I think legitimized, because I think Chris Jericho already done that, right? Yeah. And then when CM Punk came back, WWE was like, damn, we couldn't get Moxley resigned. Damn, we couldn't ever bring back Punk with the Fox and with we couldn't do that. So those two things right there, I think made WWE really step it up these last 2 years. And
it's a real battle for talent now. It's a real there is an option at least. Before it's like, let me just throw this contract to you. If you don't take it, get the hell out of here. Go work the Indies. Go work somewhere else. Or go work Impact. Okay, yeah, great. Go end your career. And then come back here when you're ready. That's how it was. Now it's like you can make a legitimate bag and never go back to WWE. You got people like Will Ospreay, with Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, signing with this company. That's not where they only could have gone to WWE in the past if they wanted to elevate their cachet.
Can you imagine Bobby Lashley not having to go show his, think about it. Bobby Lashley had to come back and show his ass. Legit.
He had to go through all that shit before he became almighty, for real.
If AEW wasn't around, can you imagine a monster and a beast or the presence of Drew Galloway, right? Imagine Drew Galloway not having to come back and but things worked out the way they did. But we're talking about,
interesting enough, Drew Galloway, Drew McIntyre, his contract is coming up after WrestleMania. they haven't come to terms with that, you know. So even with his, you know, spot on the roster, it's been in flux because, you know, he was the man during the pandemic. They put all the weight on him. He successfully rode that wave. Now I love what they're doing with his character because it plays into what that was. You know, you are not getting that spot anymore, and we're bringing in guys like Cody, or we have these new guys upcoming. You know, we're bringing
Drew
in
Galloway
CM Punk.
versus Wardlow gonna slap. I can tell you that right
Man,
right
Drew Galloway,
now.
he's gonna be ill, man. You know, see
Drew
what he can do.
Galloway and Wardlow gonna fucking bang, brother.
Yeah, man. I think that'll be epic. You know, like, you know, Drew Galloway and shit. Shout out to Lance Archer. Shit, I would like to see them fight. You know, I would like to see
Drew
him.
Galloway, Hangman Page.
Hangman
That
Page,
shit gonna
yeah.
slap. You know, so I think with that though, we don't talk about that without what we're talking about now, right? Punk going to AEW, bringing back the feel. 2021, I think, was a culture shift for wrestling. After the pandemic, after you know, we talk about Daly Center in Jacksonville with no crowd. We talk about the Thunderdome with computer screens, all like that weirdness, and then Punk being back in Chicago and AEW and taking that 15 minutes and me and you like, yo, AEW with the shits now. But we see from that point to this point, the ebbs and flows of both companies, right?
It's a legit battle now. I think it's not
legit.
that they're on the, not that, I mean, obviously WWE is a huge company, but like, as far as the talent and entertainment value, there is a battle of talent right now that I love to see because we get the benefit of being fans of this moment in time. Like, if you really look at it, you know, and I know you can do the review stuff, but AEW could have, they kind of fumbled the bag on you know, because if they kept CM Punk, if they kept Jay Cargill, if they put opportunities around them that, you know, it says, hey, listen, we got the money and we're gonna make you a star, so you don't have to feel like you got to go there to be a star, you know. And they didn't treat CM Punk like he was a golden goose where he had like carte blanche to say and do whatever the hell he wanted, you know. Then maybe you guys would have a little bit more stability. Not that they don't anymore, because they still got opportunities with the new talent they got coming in. But I hope they learn the lesson because I hope that, you know, they can continue to grow and get talent like that and see where this goes from here going out. But man, listen, if CM Punk has not returned 3 times in the past 2 years, and each time it's made a buzz, you know, so WWE now can capitalize on this right now. We got Jay Cargill in the tank for Roy. I hope she comes at the Royal Rumble, and I want that to be her first match. And the field for WWE is wide open for like many possibilities. There's so many possibilities. So AEW has to get themselves to that place where we're not saying, hey, what can they do with this person? You know, I think they have people that we're looking at, but they kind of I don't want them to run people in circles, you know, as a talent, because that's not going to keep you competitive as far as your talent, your television show is. I want their television show to be better, because losing talent like that to WWE, don't blame WWE, don't blame the talent, blame yourselves. And if you can figure out a way to maintain that and keep interest on your show, then, because I know it hurts. Tony Khan doesn't have to say it. I know CM Punk leaving within a year and a half, and now he's in WWE. He has to be like, damn, like we had him here, and now he's over there. It, you know, but you got to rebound at this point.
Well, I mean, what I would like to say too is that, listen, you can't. It's the same. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, you know, women say to other women. He gonna leave you the way he got you. You know what I'm saying? You know, and to the extent of if you took that man from another lady, don't be surprised if another lady take you from your, you know what I'm saying? Like that's essentially kind of like where that comes from. Tony Khan, you played it as if he would never. You know what I'm saying? If he ain't with us, he just ain't gonna be. You gave that nigga back the needle, cuz you feel me? Like you enabled somebody who did not have a hit of that shit
for and he can't without it now.
Long time, and you were the one who gave him that needle. And when you decided that, yo, he went and got it from somewhere else, and it's probably the purest form that he can find. Honestly, like
he's like, I know where I can get that real good shit. Like he's like, you know what? I've been messing around with this. That was good, great stuff, man. But I think I want to take it up a notch. You know, I want to get something a little bit.
That nigga, I'm trying. I don't even. Again, and this is what I'm trying to tell you. Back to the original point. He's made a return to Chicago in that same building already. Probably with half of the same crowd that went to AEW. What I'm trying to tell you is that adrenaline hit different when he was under that WWE tunnel, that gorilla position, those feelings, that animosity, that's a different type of drug, bro.
You just said it. The animosity and like the fact that you never thought this was going to be the case again. And you're walking through that gorilla position, that tunnel, and you're like, wow, I'm here. Like just the fathom is like, wow, this is happening. 10 years ago, I left. They sued me. I sued them. I ran them through the mud. All the talk in the world to say that you're never coming back to wrestling.
To the day to the Colt Cabana joint, bro. No lie. It's 10 years to the day of the Colt Cabana podcast, of the staph infection, of the medical staff, of how he wrestled injured, how he ain't never have a main event, part-time guys coming and taking his spot, whoop-de-whoop, all that shit, my nigga. And God damn it, God, look what money make a bitch do, bro.
Yo, now I think you think he's part-time? Because I think that he might be part-time. You never know, because apparently it's a multi-year deal. So, like, man, I'm just flabbergasted, bro. I really don't know what to say anymore because it's crazy that we're here in this time right now. It really is. It really is crazy. We never thought this would be the case. At least me. I never thought that he would be back in the WWE until he gets into the Hall of Fame. The way he seemed, he didn't even like. I knew when he did the Fox deal to do the show backstage. I knew he loved wrestling. I knew that he was gonna come back to. He wanted to wrestle. And then when AEW came up, I was like, oh, hey, Punk, this is your opportunity. Like, if you want to wrestle, this is the opportunity for you to do it. Apparently, there were talks of him when he did the backstage show. He might want to come back, but he's like, it has to be a big bag. Well, the industry has changed now where they got to give you a big bag because there's a big bag somewhere else. So without AEW, I don't know if this happens. Honestly, without AEW, I got to say, I don't know if CM Punk ever comes back to wrestling. Nope. And because of AEW, ironically, he's back in WWE. So it's like a real weird Ouroboros type of thing where it's
I don't even know how that motherfucking shit goes.
It's the low key thing. The snake eating its tail, the Ouroboros. That's exactly what this is. Without one, there isn't another. Who created the TVA type shit? No, it's who created CM Punk coming back to WWE. Is it? I think it's AEW, or does it the love for wrestling do it? Enough. I think it's both. I think that without one, you don't get the other.
And that's why we always have to give and show love to AEW. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. They've made wrestling industry so interesting over the past 4 years they've been around, and I want to hand it to them for real. Like it's changed the landscape. We were coming on this podcast, and just like, I kind of like this, kind of like that. All right, let's not talk about what we hate because there's a lot of shit to hate. Now we just come here and there's a lot of shit to love, and we talk about it all the time. And then there's a few things we can touch on, like, hey man, I'm like these tighten up a little bit. But for the most part, most of our podcasts are legitimately excited about something that's coming to happen on AEW, WWE, or somewhere else. So even with Trinity going to Impact and all that stuff, I love where
Shout out
wrestling
to
has
Trinity and
been.
Chris Sabin right now too. They look great together as Impact champions over there. And
Yeah,
doing
man.
mixed match. It's not nothing unfamiliar from Trinity. She just haven't really tagged with niggas that ain't her man. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to her over there, keeping it strictly professional over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out to them, man. Shout out to, and they're gonna be TNA by the
I would have lost my damn mind and slapped Trinity on the ass. Good play, girl. You know what I'm saying? Good game.
Yeah, watch out. Jimmy will fucking find your ass, man.
Bro,
And
that nigga go yeet the shit out of me.
Put a
Yeet
hit
or
out
no
on Chris.
yeet,
Put a hit out. He gonna put a hit out on the bloodline. Gonna put a hit out on Chris Samuel, bro. Yeah. Nah, but nah, man. I know you gotta go in a little bit because you got class, but we just had to talk about this. The CM Punk is back. It's clobbering time again. So we'll, we're gonna see what goes down today on Raw. The first hour is commercial free. I'm super pumped because I haven't been this excited for Raw in a minute. Like, and honestly, I'm a CM Punk fan, but like, I'm not like a guy who's like, oh yeah, I'm right down to see CM Punk wrestle so badly. I didn't like. I mean, no, I don't really necessarily need to see him wrestle ever again. But the thing about him is that he's a legitimate superstar and a buzz because he talks his shit. I respect that. A man who can go out there, speak from the heart, whether you like it or not, and just take all the brunt of it. I respect because I literally am the same way in some facets of saying whatever the fuck you feel, because you stand on business. That's what you feel. Like you stand on what the fuck you feel, and not that it's always right, but you understand that it's gonna ruffle some feathers a little bit, but you're not gonna just.
In the moment, your feelings is right. I mean, a CM
Yeah.
Punk in the moment, like he felt like in 10 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the moment, he felt as if how he was feeling was legitimate.
There was really no way out for him.
It was validity to his feelings, right? It
Absolutely.
was validity. So when you speak up on it, because again, we also talk about people. Man, that nigga talk too damn much about his shit. You know what I'm saying? That nigga too in tune with his feelings. Whoop, or whatever the case is. But when as a man though, sometimes we don't always vocalize shit in the moment when it happens, how it happens, how we really feel about it. We've saw a little bit of that. Listen, Punk the only nigga, they can talk shit all they want. Punk the nigga that did go train for UFC and get in the cage. Oh, no too many niggas that's badass enough that can talk the shit that they talk and then go and get their ass whooped.
And be like, all right,
twice.
I did it. Twice, yeah. Yeah.
The first time you get your ass whooped, I don't think I'm doing this again. I did it twice just to make sure it wasn't no fluke. Ain't no fluke. He beat my ass twice. I'm done. That's
but
a real,
I respect it. I respect
shit, you know
real shit, like rather than living your life like, what if I did it? And then saying, I could fight, I'm Muay Thai, I can do all that, and then not doing it, not proving it. Dude, I gotta respect it, man. He's a cult of personality. It's a perfect song for him because he literally is a cult of personality. Like he is enigmatic in that way. It could be whether it's misunderstood, like him or hate him. He's gonna draw the attention of people, and I respect it, man. Because right now he could talk himself into a main event with Roman. He could talk himself to a main event with Seth Rollins, and we're gonna be like, yep, it makes sense. Like it's not gonna be like So at this point, I'm here for the ride, man. Let's go. Punk is back, and I don't know what kind of reality we're living in right now because I did not see this coming at all. But I'm here for it, bro. I'm here.
Listen, it's clobbering time. Seth Rollins is ready to do some clobbering. I can't wait to be in Tampa for Royal Rumble. I can't wait to fucking be in Philly for WrestleMania. I think it's time for us to put in our press passes, my nigga. You feel me? I think I might fuck around and try to be smoked out in the press room in Tampa. So you
Hey,
smell
man,
like good. It's gonna be the joint Ayatollah in there, baby. I think it's time for us to pull up at these press conferences. Get
hopefully
some
you can ask
questions.
some better questions, than some of these cats.
I'm just trying to. All I'm trying to say is, listen, young, old, whatever you is, when you sit down at that presser with a Mountain Dew and a Slim Jim, I'm gonna ask you, did you smoke some of the best good in Tampa out of a joint roll of Ayatollah paper? And fuck getting free shit. I ain't coming up there to get no pickles, my nigga. I'm giving shit away. I'ma give packs of papers at the press conference, motherfucker. I'm gonna be remembered on that bitch, nigga.
Okay, man. Okay.
I'm gonna
You'll
raise
never
my
be-
hand and I'm like, right, Ryan Tony for Real Wrestling Podcast. Here you go. You ever smoke some?
You'll never be back again. I swear to God. You'll never be invited back again. Hey, go
Bro, they
for it,
gonna
man. I'm
and delete
like,
this email even come through.
everything
Bro.
is wrestling. I can pull you out.
Nah, man, I'm gonna ask questions with a drink in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try. Listen, man, niggas already. The nigga said I'm trying to be a respected journalist, and Cody Rhodes said a journalist. Like, it's journalist in this motherfucker. Like, nigga, just be a commentator, nigga. Be a spectator. Be a pundit, my nigga.
I know,
You
right?
trying to be a journalist, nigga? What?
Yo, man. There was a couple of questions there. I was like, yo, what are you talking about, bro? Like, nigga asked about John Moxley. Another nigga asked, like,
asked about John Moxley in concussion. Oh, Triple H's last question of the press conference was CM Punk and Randy Orton returning, and you say, "Hey, man, did you hear what John Moxley said about concussion?" Triple H said, "No, bitch." The fuck?
Then the homeboy says, yo, Charlotte and Becky, you niggas old. You're at the end of your career. Like, come on now.
What?
Oh my God. It's like I got the most secondhand embarrassment.
Bro,
I'm like, oh God.
That nigga, no, Charlotte cut this nigga up. So like, I'm sorry, come again? Let's give you another. Let's give you another chance. You know?
Yo, shout out to Charlotte because she handled that with grace. Because I know that Becky did not want to. Becky was not.
Said you gave that nigga a second chance to exit. Listen, Becky's like, that's why we ain't friends, bitch. Because you think we ain't friends right now. You let this nigga. I would have told that nigga pass the sticks, nigga. Pass the fucking sticks. What you talk? That was your one. You don't get two chances to ask the same question, man. Yeah, man.
Yo, man. Oh my God.
Oh man, shout out to Sir Wilkins, bro. Like, shout out to the Jobber Tears podcast. Shout out to Jobber Tears Network. I honestly, truly do fuck with Sir Wilkins. Honestly, he gonna get these jokes regardless. He know what it is. He know what a fight is. We'll see each other. But listen, brother, you do really good shit for the community. You really do good shit for your brand. You do good shit for your people over there at Jobber Tears. You got the eyes. You got the fucking ears. You got us talking about it, brother. Please don't do that again. You are, bro. You know you don't even ask women they weight and they age, and you straight up was like, "Hey, you bitches old." You know what I'm saying? What's up? What's up next? You think that Roxanne in the next team? What about that Tiffany Stratton? You know, because y'all bitches old. You know?
Oh my God, nigga. Oh my God. Yo, that's fucked up. Mind you, we just saw Trish Stratus pull off a great run. And I'm like,
at like 50.
Yeah.
Like after Trish Stratus had a kid, her kid down there in high school, my nigga. She a yoga instructor. And this nigga said, "Hey, Charlotte, you're coming to the end of your career." They're like, he might even pop out. No, get up this pussy in. Nigga, like,
what is he talking about? He's already retiring bitches already. I'm like, what? That was an L. That was an
Bro.
L, man.
Bro, Becky's one of the same age as Christian, nigga. She only got a 2-year-old. Like, what is going on?
Oh my god, man. That was cringy, man. I gotta say, man.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we might have to get our press passes, bro. WWE, man, y'all I know somebody listen to the pod because every time we say some shit, y'all end up fucking doing it. When we send the fucking press, just know I won't spark the joint in the meeting. I'll just have one rolled up in the press conference. I won't ask no questions crazy. You know, I ain't gonna say bitches and hoes and pussy like that, I promise. But I will ask who's smoking with me after this presser. You know what I'm saying? Niggas can't be coming in there with libations, you know what I'm saying? Yeet, getting drunk and shit, and can't nobody smoke a joint with a joint roller Ayatollah, you know what I'm saying?
100%, 100%, man. I mean, if anybody wants to pull up after Tampa or after Philly, listen, man, let's smoke. You know, but I mean, during a pressure conference, don't expect to be invited back after that. Just sorry, it's a
kamikaze. No, I definitely won't. I'm trying to see if I want to fuck off Tampa or if I want to fuck off Philly. You know what I'm saying? Whichever is gonna be the last.
Exactly. who let this nigga in? Yo, but it's been real, man. I know you gotta get out of here, man. Listen, I'm excited for Raw tonight. We're gonna be back maybe for like a little 30-minute session right after Raw if anything pops off. But real quick, guys. No, actually, that's all. I'm gonna save it for Raw. After Raw, listen, everything is love. All is love. Everything is wrestling, actually. And we shall see y'all later on.
Everything's love too. Let's
everything's love too. Everything is love too. Absolutely. All is love. Everything is love. You know, y'all feel it. It's a feel vibe.
Yeah, I think Survivor Series. We could, you know, quick. Gunther did what he was supposed to do. 534 days, I think 535 days now. I think as Intercontinental Champion, him and The Miz had a really good performance. I do want to say Zoe and Rhea surprised. I fell asleep during that. Ivana was trying to get me up, man. Leave me the fuck alone. Let me just take this nap, nigga, so I can get to the end of the show. Let me sleep during this shit, nigga. That's what I was trying to do. Zoe and Rhea was definitely a snooze fest. Okay, so I want to go ahead and put that out there. I mean, you listen. We all can like what we like. I never had to like it.
I get it. I listen. I get it. But I feel like when I fall asleep during the women's match, I just say, "Hey, they had a match. I wasn't there." I don't just be like, "Listen, I literally fell asleep, guys." To announce the world.
I just want to say that Zoe showed. Listen, I've never discredited Zoe's ability to wrestle. Zoe holding the storyline as Rhea is the hottest in the game right now, while Judgment Day was the hottest and was the main event. I did not think it did the character or the show justice. Okay, I do want to say the story and the match quality of leading into the match itself. I didn't fall asleep on purpose during it. What I am saying is that Survivor Series didn't hold me the way I thought it would. Right? Because when the women's concluded, and I don't want to be the one, you know, I text the group chat. I said that felt a little anticlimactic to me. A tad, you know. Again, that was a better story. I loved what they were, but I was looking for a little bit more. Spots was great. The right team went over. I don't know, right? I don't know about that.
I think that Bayley showed out in that match. I think I think the women's War Games match honestly was the best.
The women's War Games match was a really good match. Again, for story wise, with the talent involved. I don't know if the right women won.
I think that Bayley needs to leave Diamond Control. So I think this plays into that story. I think that's
okay.
what
So you think
expecting.
she leaves instead of get kicked out?
Either one is going to happen. Like, I think that she will probably get kicked out because I think that just fits with the Bayley character. That, you know, I put this together and I sacrificed myself, and then you guys do this to me. All right, now I'm going to have to get my revenge. You know, like that type of thing. So yeah, and she got the manhandle to slam through the table shake. She went in that match and took the spear. Like she was doing her thing, you know. But there were some cool ass spots. I think the woman had a better, honestly, the best match of the night. To be honest, the women's war game match.
I will say, women's war game match over men's war game match. Men's storyline war game match was over women's storyline war game.
Yeah, I agree.
But I do believe action and the creativity and the overall talent with the women showed.
Taking a little bit over the edge for me. That takes a little bit, yeah. So
yeah, I mean, yeah,
but the men's, it was cool, and then I think the big thing was Randy Orton wrestling again, and you know, them hitting the DDTs, the RKO, you know, all that stuff was cool. It was a good moment.
And then throwing the nigga off. Exactly, that whole thing was to see Randy.
Yeah,
and exactly. And to me, I think that kind of condensed a lot of what was going to be able to be done in the match, right? Because even with, there was not too much tension with Jay in the war game. Me, it wasn't a lot of.
They didn't go. There was one moment where he looked at him, and then you know he super kicked. Who was it?
McDonough. It had to be McDonough. McDonough take anything, nigga. If somebody got fucked up, it was definitely JD.
Yeah. So, and that's why I like where wrestling is at. Like that's why I like where WWE is at. Particular, there's so many ways you can go with Randy Orton, Randy Orton, and Cody, Randy Orton, and his dynamics now, and him and Seth even. Like there's so many things you can actually do with him, adding to the fray. You know, that I'm really interested to see what goes on tonight on Raw. With him, and not just we're seeing Punk with him as well, if he's there. And then because we don't know if he's on Raw or SmackDown or CM Punk is on Raw or SmackDown. We don't know, right? They both could be free agents at this point, for all we know. And then Santos got his first, big victory as a singles, heel, which I love, and Triple H said that, this is where they had planned to get him to through LWO, through all this stuff. And he's been doing a great job with this.
Which we felt too. We kind of, we knew that. Just execution and to that point of the Moxley question, which we joked about, that goes back to us. Was that real? Was that fake? Remember when we was like, is that an angle? Straight up 100% real. And it straight up 100% derailed a story that probably could have been capsulated earlier, but had to be drawn due to real life things happening. So I do want to, again, for us, like you say, you said it, I've said it, we get a little spoiled and get a little bratty when things kind of don't add up the way we think it should add up. But there are things that make it that way. So
he's great at pivoting on the fly. I think that Triple H, he's making a lot of things. Honestly, building character, pivoting on the fly, surprising the fans. Like he's on the pulse of what people want to see, man. And with Vince in control, I don't think we get half of this shit, bro. Like more than half of this shit. I really don't. I think if Vince is in control, we get, I know no shade to Omos, but Omos is probably like United States champion or something, but like a Vince in control, which we haven't seen, which I would like to see him more of. But I think that he doesn't have that buzz that yet that he could have.
I mean, he's an octogenarian, my nigga. It's really hard for octogenarian kind of to have his finger on the post anyway. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about bookers and fly, we talk about Tony Khan, how he unfortunately sometimes just can't really get it or strike when the iron's hot, like we say all the time, because with certain things happening within the company and he's not ready. I think this goes back to Triple H, no pun intended, playing the game, right? He played the game. He actually know what it's like to be a top spot, lose his top spot, come back, have the fans love him, have the fans hate him, regurgitate that same sentiment as he tore both quads, tore knees, tore pecs. You know what I'm saying? Like, he played the game, so he knows the intricacies of what a character may need, the intricacies of what a character may want to do when he comes back. When he comes back wearing jean jackets and leather vests, my nigga, that is a switch in character that he was able to kind of attach himself to and be the legacy character that is him. He knows how important. Again, he said, "I knew Randy as a kid, as a fuck, bro. We old as fuck, nigga." Yeah, Triple H played the game and coached Randy when he was a fucking pup, and Randy's now a 20-year goddamn vet, and Triple H is running the damn company. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a little different element, and a fan loving wrestling like Tony Khan has, being able to do what he's doing. So I think the battle of not necessarily supremacy, but I think the battle of who can give the fans what they want the most, right? Again, Tony Khan was the originator in that. He brought CM Punk back, right? He brought CM Punk out of retirement. He is the originator of giving the fans what they want. But Triple H is a part of the grandfather of giving the fans what they want.
But you gotta also recognize his run at NXT. We saw the potential with his run at NXT as the showrunner.
Of course.
That was like when we really like, NXT is the best show on television, wrestling show on television. Before it was even on television, honestly, it was the best wrestling show when it was on the network. So we saw potential from there, and to see him now transition and do similar things with the main roster, man. Like, I'm in awe. I'm appreciative. I love it. So
bro, before we go, I wanted to say how old we are, right? 1996, the debut of Rocky Maivia, our Survivor Series against Triple H. In that match, it was Triple H, Jerry King Lawler, Goldust. I think the Stalker. Shout out to Barry Windham, rest in peace, Barry. You know what I'm saying? Damn, man, that kind of put a little Bray at Survivor Series would have been crazy. Bray and Tampa.
I was talking about him yesterday with my nephew, and I was like, "Yo, I might have to get that Firefly tat."
Bro, I was thinking about getting the tattoo because I don't even know, but yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm getting some more tats once I know there's a couple ones I got lined up that I'm trying to get, but Bray, man, I miss him, man. I miss him.
So I was literally thinking that 96 and the Blue Chipper against Hunter Helmsley, and now fast forward, Rock is the biggest name in Hollywood, legit on a 10-year run as the biggest star in Hollywood, and now Paul Levesque, Triple H, the game is now the leader and the showrunner.
The student of the game is now the master of the game. Like, that's just, we are old, bro.
When he slapped the hat off JR and said, "I am the fucking game. I'm the game, JR." And like, they use that as promo, they use that as fodder, but that nigga had then 98, 99. The nigga then was like, "No, I'm the fucking best."
I'm the fucking, and it's like manifested. It's crazy how things come full circle.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. So one time to Triple H, my favorite fucking wrestler. Shout out Randy Orton, my second favorite fucking wrestler, and CM Punk, the best in the fucking world, returns tonight. We'll catch y'all at the Raw, man.
Salute. All is love. Everything's wrestling. See y'all later and enjoy Raw. Hey, peace out, everyone.